Welcome to my channel, C.S. Lewis Spirit. In today's video, we enter into a question most people never dare to ask. What if there are forces watching you right now? Forces that already know the road you're walking, the choices you will make, and even how your story will end? You may think your future belongs only to you, that it unfolds through free will, chance, and determination. But what if the most terrifying truth is this? There are things, unseen things, that already know more about your destiny than you do. We all feel it at times, that strange shiver when a room feels heavy, or the sense that someone is standing just behind us when no one is there. You may have dismissed it as your imagination. But for centuries, stories across every culture have whispered the same warning. There are entities, often called demons or dark spirits, who move quietly in the shadows of human life. They do not just tempt. They do not just haunt. They observe. And what they know about your future is far more disturbing than anything you could imagine. Think about it. Why is it that some people, before their greatest failure, say they had an unshakable feeling that something was waiting for them? Why do countless testimonies, from ordinary people to ancient prophets, suggest that the unseen realm knows what lies ahead of us? Could it be that demons, these hidden watchers, have insight into patterns of your life, into weaknesses you haven't even recognized yet, into doors you're about to open without realizing what waits on the other side? Tonight, I want to take you into that mystery. Not with fear for the sake of fear, but with a search for truth. The truth demons know about your future is not some fairy tale or superstition. It's a reality hinted at in sacred texts, in folklore, and in the chilling experiences of people who've brushed up against the invisible world. They say demons study you from the moment you are born. They learn your desires, your fears, your hidden battles. And while you wonder what tomorrow may bring, they already whisper to one another about where your footsteps are heading. But here's the question that should keep you awake tonight. How do they know? Are they predicting? Are they manipulating? Or are they simply waiting for the moment when you will walk straight into the trap already set before you? The unsettling part is that this isn't just about legends or old tales. Even in our modern age, where science, technology, and logic try to explain away the unknown, people across the world still encounter the unexplainable. A dream that comes true. A warning that arrives in a voice you cannot place. A presence that seems to celebrate your failure before it even happens. What if these are not coincidences, but fragments of a greater design? As we move deeper into this story, I want you to imagine your own life. Every choice you've made, every secret thought you've hidden, every hope about the future you quietly carry inside. Now ask yourself, who else already knows these things? Who else has seen the road you are about to walk? Because here's the terrifying truth. While you are still searching for light, something else may already be mapping the shadows of your destiny. And the further we go, the closer we get to uncovering what they see when they look at your future. But before I reveal that, let me leave you with this question that will follow you like a shadow until the next part. What if the very thing you are running toward in hope is the same thing demons have been waiting for in silence? They say the greatest conflict in life is not between good and evil out in the world, but between the choices that live inside us. And this is where the unsettling part begins. Imagine for a moment that every hesitation, every secret desire, every fear you never say out loud is being studied by eyes you cannot see. The conflict is not just about where you are going, but about who is guiding your steps. What if the demons watching do not only know your future but also shape it by quietly influencing the roads you take? Some people call it temptation. Others say it is manipulation. But the truth may be far more complicated. Think about how often you've been standing at a crossroads in life. One choice could lead you toward growth and freedom, while another leads you into regret and loss. And yet, something within you seems drawn to the path you already know is dangerous. Why? Could it be that the conflict is not just your own weakness, but a tug-of-war between what is seen and unseen? Consider the strange timing of events. Just when you are closest to a breakthrough, distraction appears. Just when you gather strength, a sudden fear whispers that you will fail. Is this coincidence? Or is there a deeper strategy at work? One that demons have whispered about long before you take the step yourself? And still, the greater mystery remains. If they already know your future, then are you fighting a battle you've already lost? Or could it be that what they know is only a shadow of something greater waiting for you? The tension builds because the answer is not yet clear. What is certain is this: your story is unfolding, and unseen watchers are already waiting at the next turn. The deeper you go into this mystery, the more the conflict tightens around you like a net. It is no longer about whispers in the dark or fleeting shadows at the edge of your vision. It is about the sense that every step forward is being measured, every choice weighed by something that already knows where it will lead. You begin to notice the patterns, the way certain doors open too easily, the way distractions appear at the very moment you are about to choose a better path. It feels as though the future is not only known but carefully staged, and you are the one being moved across the board. The tension rises because you start to wonder whether your decisions are truly your own. The pull toward old habits, the sudden voices of doubt, the sharp turns of fate, are these accidents of life or threads being pulled by hidden hands? If demons truly know your future, then the question is no longer what will happen, but how much of it has already been decided. This is where the struggle becomes unbearable, because you sense both danger and possibility waiting at the same time. And here lies the most terrifying thought of all. What if they are not simply predicting your fall, but preparing for the very moment you will stumble? What if they are waiting for a single instant of weakness to lock you into the destiny they have been watching unfold since the beginning? The story is pressing closer to a breaking point. The air feels heavy with choices not yet made, and the silence between each breath grows louder. Something is about to be revealed, something that will shatter the illusion of control. But the truth has not yet shown its full face. Just when you think you have begun to understand the weight of this unseen conflict, another layer reveals itself. What if the future demons know about you is not only tied to your weaknesses, but also to your strengths? Imagine that every good decision, every step of progress, every spark of hope in your heart is also being studied with the same intensity. The unsettling twist is this: they may not only be preparing for your failures, they may also be planning around your victories. This changes everything, because it means that even the brightest moments of your life, the ones you believed were safe, are not beyond their attention. When you feel closest to freedom, when you are about to step into something greater, that is when the resistance grows the strongest. The deeper you reach for light, the darker the shadows seem to gather around you. It is almost as if the conflict is not about what you lose, but about what you might gain. Because what if your future holds something powerful enough to threaten the very darkness watching you? The stakes rise higher when you realize that silence is not emptiness. The pauses, the delays, the strange interruptions in your journey, these are not random. They are strategies. They are moves carefully designed to keep you from seeing the full picture of what you are capable of. The future you long for, the destiny you hope to step into, may be far more important than you ever imagined. And that is exactly why the unseen world is so determined to distract you, to divide your path, to blind your vision. But here is the twist that unsettles the heart most of all. What if the terrifying truth demons know about your future is not only what lies ahead, but also what you were always meant to become? What if they see the potential you overlook, the strength you doubt, the purpose you hesitate to believe? Suddenly, the conflict is no longer just about falling into a trap. It is about resisting the very forces that fear your future more than you do. The air grows heavier with this thought, because it means your story is bigger than your own choices. Something unseen is at stake, and every step you take is pulling you closer to a moment that will change everything. But the revelation of what that moment holds is still hidden, waiting just beyond the next turn in the story. The tension builds until it feels almost unbearable, and then the story reaches its breaking point. The truth that demons know about your future is finally uncovered. Not just the shadows of your failures, not just the traps laid along the way, but the astonishing reality that they fear what you might become if you truly step into your destiny. They know your weaknesses because they have studied them, but more importantly, they know your strengths because they cannot afford to ignore them. The climax arrives when you realize that the very thing they try hardest to bury is the very thing that could break their hold on your story. The conflict that has been building is suddenly clear. All along, it was not about predicting your downfall, it was about preventing your rise. Every distraction, every sudden fear, every whispered doubt was never just coincidence. It was resistance, carefully placed to hold you back from discovering the future that was always yours to walk into. And in that moment, when the weight of this realization crashes down, you see that the real battle has never been about what demons know. It has always been about what you choose to believe. But just as the story seems to resolve, a final twist emerges. What if their knowledge of your future is not absolute? What if what they see are possibilities, patterns, and probabilities but not certainties? This changes everything. Because it means that no matter how much they watch, no matter how closely they study your steps, there is still a space of freedom, a margin of choice, a sliver of hope that they cannot touch. And that is where your true power lies. The climax leaves you standing at the edge of this revelation. The darkness knows your potential, fears your destiny, and anticipates your choices, but it cannot decide them for you. That decision remains in your hands. Yet, as the story reaches its peak, one last question rises like a shadow over the resolution. If they cannot control your future, why are they so certain you will fail? What secret are they still hiding? What truth about your destiny remains unseen even now?